Today we are going to cover the topic glycolysis. Glycolysis is also known as Embeden-Meyerhof pathway. The important molecule involved in the glycolysis is the glucose molecule, and almost in all major pathways of the carbohydrate metabolism, the monosaccharide glucose molecule is involved. The liver plays also very important role in monitoring the blood glucose levels, as many of the metabolic pathways are occurring in the liver. Glycolysis, the carbohydrate metabolism, there are many major pathways concerned with the carbohydrate metabolism. The first pathway is the glycolysis, which is defined as the oxidation of glucose to pyruvate and lactate. Second pathway is a citric acid cycle or Krebs cycle or TCA cycle. It is the oxidation of acetyl coenzyme A to carbon dioxide and water. Third pathway involved here is the gluconeogenesis, which is the synthesis of glucose from non-carbohydrate compounds like amino acids, glycerol, propranolol, etc. Glycogenesis is the formation of glycogen from glucose, and glycogenolysis is the breakdown of glycogen to glucose. One more pathway is the hexose monophosphate shunt, or it is also known as the pentose phosphate pathway or direct oxidative pathway. It is the alternative pathway to the glycolysis. These are the major pathways concerned with the carbohydrate metabolism. And now we are cover the first pathway, that is the glycolysis. Now, what is glycolysis? Glycolysis is the term derived from the Greek words glycose means sweet or sugar, and lysis means dissolution. So glycolysis is the breakdown or oxidation of the glucose to pyruvate or lactate with the production of ATP is known as the glycolysis. Glycolysis occurs in the absence of oxygen, is known as anaerobic glycolysis, or in the presence of oxygen, that is known as the aerobic glycolysis. Lactate is the end product of the anaerobic glycolysis, while pyruvate is the end product of the aerobic glycolysis. Now, glycolysis is also important because this pathway can also occur where the tissues lacking mitochondria, for example, erythrocytes, cornea, lens, etc. And it is also important for the brain because the energy which is synthesized from this pathway will be utilized mainly by the brain. Now there are mainly three major reactions involved in the glycolysis. The first is the energy investment phase or the priming phase. Second is the splitting phase, and third is the energy generation phase. We will see this one by one. The first is the energy investment phase, means here the ATP molecules are utilized, and therefore it is called as the investment phase because ATP molecules are invested. So here, and second phase is the splitting phase. Now here, the 6 carbon atom compound fructose 1,6 biphosphate is split into the 3 carbon atom compounds, and that's why it is known as a splitting phase. And third phase is the energy generation phase. Here, the glyceridide 3-phosphate dehydrogenase enzyme is mainly involved, and here the proper generation of ATP occurs in the form of NADH, okay, and therefore this phase is known as the energy generation phase because at this phase the energy generated. Now we will see all the reactions of the carbohydrate metabolism. There are total 10 reactions involved in the glycolysis. So in glycolysis, there are total 10 steps, and from that the 7 steps are reversible and 3 steps are irreversible. So mainly what is glycolysis? Glycolysis is the oxidation or breakdown of glucose to carbon dioxide and water. Therefore, the starting molecule for the glycolysis will be obviously glucose. So this glucose will be first converted to the glucose 6-phosphate from glycogen or from glucose. Okay, either from glycogen or from glucose, the glucose 6-phosphate we will get at the first step. Here we use the enzyme hexokinase or glucokinase, and at this step the one ATP molecule is utilized. That's why this phase is known as the energy investment phase, because in this step the ATP molecules are utilized, invested, and at the first step the hexokinase or glucokinase enzymes are used, and mainly these enzymes are used for the phosphorylation of the glucose molecule. And this is the first irreversible step in the glycolysis. As I told you, there are 3 irreversible steps in the glycolysis. So glucose to glucose 6-phosphate by the use of enzyme hexokinase or glucokinase is the first irreversible step in the glycolysis. Now, in the second step, after glucose 6-phosphate, we will get the formation of fructose 6-phosphate. Only the arrangement of the atoms is different. Here the enzyme used here is the phosphohexose isomerase. So this is the isomerization step. Then in the third step, the fructose 6-phosphate is converted to the fructose 1,6-biphosphate. And here the enzyme used is the phosphofructokinase. And here also one ATP molecule is utilized. Okay, so total at this first phase, energy investment phase. So these are the 3 steps which comes under the energy investment phase. And at this step, the 2 ATP molecules are utilized or invested. And therefore, it is called as the energy investment phase. And in this phase, the 2 irreversible steps comes, that is the glucose to glucose 6-phosphate and fructose 6-phosphate to fructose 1,6-biphosphate. This is also the second irreversible step in the glycolysis. Enzyme here required is the phosphofructokinase. So this is the first phase of the glycolysis, that is the energy investment phase. The 2 ATP molecules are utilized at this step. Now the second phase is the splitting phase. As I told you already, splitting means the 6 carbon atom compound splits into the 2-3 carbon atom compounds. So here the fructose 1,6-biphosphate is a 6 carbon atom compound, and which is splits into the 3 carbon atom compound, that is a dihydroxyacetone phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. And enzyme used here is aldolase. And at this step also isomerization reaction occurs. And at this step we can say that from fructose 1,6-biphosphate we get the 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, because this dihydroxyacetone phosphate is also get converted to the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate at this step. So here 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate we can get. Now, after this, then the third phase starts, that is the energy generation phase. Now, at this step, we get the actual formation of the ATP molecules, and therefore this phase is known as the energy generation phase. Now, the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate here we get. Now, these 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, they get converted to the 1,3-biphosphoglycerate. Enzyme used here is the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase, and here at this step we get the 1 NADH molecule is released. And we can say that here 2 NADH molecules are released because 2 glyceraldehyde 3-phosphates are formed. So here 2 NADH molecules are producing, and we can say that from 1 NADH molecule we get the 3 ATP molecules. So at this step we can say that there are 6 ATP molecules are formed from the enzyme glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. Now, the second step after 1,3-biphosphoglycerate, we get the formation of 3-phosphoglycerate. Here the enzyme used is the phosphoglycerate kinase, and at this step also the ATP molecules are formed, and here also we can say 2 ATP molecules are formed because 2 glyceraldehyde 3-phosphates are there. After 3-phosphoglycerate, then we get 2-phosphoglycerate. This is only the isomerization reaction. And then after 2-phosphoglycerate, we get again the formation of phosphoenol pyruvate, which is a high energy rich molecule. And the enzyme used here is the enolase. So this phosphoenol pyruvate, then finally we get from phosphoenol pyruvate, finally we get the pyruvate. And at this step also the ATP molecules are formed, and the enzyme used here is the pyruvate kinase. Now this is the last step of the glycolysis, aerobic glycolysis. So the product of the aerobic glycolysis end product is the pyruvate. So from glucose we get the formation of pyruvate, and here also 2 ATP molecules are formed from the 2 glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate molecules. And this is the third irreversible step in the glycolysis, and the enzyme used here is the pyruvate kinase. So pyruvate we get here. After pyruvate, then we get the lactate by the use of enzyme lactate dehydrogenase, and that is the anaerobic glycolysis step. So from pyruvate we get the lactate, and then that step is called as the anaerobic glycolysis. From that also we get the 2 ATP molecules are formed from the anaerobic glycolysis. So this is known as the glycolysis. Total 10 steps are involved in the glycolysis. There are total 7 reversible steps, and 3 steps are irreversible. Total molecules, if we can see ATP molecules by the use of enzyme glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase, we can get the 6 ATP molecules. By the use of enzyme phosphoglycerate kinase, we get the 2 ATP molecules. And the enzyme from enzyme pyruvate kinase, we get the 2 ATP molecules. So total 6 plus 2 plus 2, it is 10. And we have utilized the 2 ATP molecules in the first energy investment phase. So if we can minus these 2 from 10, we get total 8 ATP molecules are produced from the glycolysis. So this is about the ATP production in the glycolysis, see here it is here also given the production of ATP in glycolysis, that is the under anaerobic condition we get the 2 ATP molecules, and under aerobic conditions we can get the 8 or 6 ATP molecules depending on the shuttle pathway. So now what are these shuttle pathway? That also we will see later. So here they have given the generation of ATP in glucose metabolism. That I have already told you that glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate from this enzyme we get 2 NADH, so 6 ATP. Then from phosphoglycerate kinase, this is a substrate level phosphorylation step. Here 2 ATP molecules are formed. Then from enzyme pyruvate kinase also we get the 2 ATP molecules. This is also the substrate level phosphorylation. As we all know, oxidative phosphorylation and substrate level phosphorylation, these are the two types where we can produce the two methods by which the ATP are synthesized. So here these ATP molecules are synthesized by the substrate level phosphorylation, and these ATP molecules are synthesized by the oxidative phosphorylation process. Then 2 ATP molecules are consumed by the enzyme, as I had told you already, hexokinase and phosphofructokinase, that we will minus from here. So total ATP molecule in the glycolysis in aerobic condition will be 8. Okay, and in anaerobic condition that is will be 2. Okay, total 8 ATP molecules are produced, but as I told you, depending on shuttle pathway, 6 or 8 ATP molecules will be produced. So what are the shuttle pathways? There are total 2 shuttle pathways in the glycolysis mentioned here. That is the malate aspartate shuttle pathway and the glycerol phosphate shuttle pathway. So when NADH molecules are produced in the glycolysis process, these NADH molecules uses either malate aspartate shuttle or glycerol phosphate shuttle. So if they uses the malate aspartate shuttle, then if they participated in this shuttle, then we get the 3 ATP molecules are generated from one NADH molecule. So 8 ATP molecules we produced if NADH will participate in the malate aspartate shuttle, because in the malate aspartate shuttle pathway from one NADH we get the formation of 3 ATP. But if the NADH molecules enters into the glycerol phosphate shuttle pathway, here from one NADH molecule it only produces the 2 ATP molecules. So if the NADH will enter into the glycerol phosphate shuttle pathway, then only 6 ATP molecule will be produced in the glycolysis. Therefore, depending on shuttle pathway, in which shuttle pathway the glucose molecule, NADH molecules will enter, from that we can say that in the glycolysis we can get formation of 6 or 8 ATP molecules. So this is known as the glycolysis, and this is the energetics of glycolysis. From one glucose molecule in the glycolysis, we can get total 6 or 8 ATP molecules under aerobic conditions and 2 ATP molecules under anaerobic conditions. This is known as glycolysis.